Marshall. We're up by 22 points, 25 minutes in the last. We win this, we play finals. Come on, Marshall. And eliminate Geelong. Come on, Rowe. Yes! The Saints will play finals. Geelong are out. Look at this. Up yours, Geelong. Sayonara. No. Hey. Up yours and goodbye. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Key to Scoops. I'm your host, Cooper Gretsch, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours and results. And, well, I've got a loaded show for you guys and girls today on the world famous show, Key to Scoops. And also on the show, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's the Saints party tonight. Oh, it's a party here tonight on Key to Scoops. The Saints are playing finals for 2023. Know how sweet it is. We had all the credit. I'm going to get to that in Scoops Goes Bang. But we were told, nah, you're not making the A, mate. Nah, you're finishing bottom four, mate. Well, nah, you're wrong. Saints are playing finals in 2023, and how sweet it was to have that official Saturday night against Geelong, and to top it all off, to eliminate Geelong as well. Oh, sweet it is. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. Now, on the show today, well, there'll be more. That's St Kilda chatter in a second. Tonight on the show, we've got some big news to talk about. We've got some breaking news right off the top. As I'm recording this, there's a few stories that are broken. I'm sure there'll be more to break throughout the day. But I'm going to mention these news items I got about my own shows and announcements and everything in a second. But some of the big news of the day, that Damien Hardwick is officially the new Gold Coast Suns coach for the next 6 years. 6 years. That's a very long time. And let's have a listen to some of what Damien Hardwick said in his presser today with the CEO and co beside him. This is what he said about the Gold Coast Suns playing list. I thought this was very interesting, so here it is.
What was really excited me is, first and foremost, the people that we've got here. You know, I know a lot of the people involved and been around footy circles a long time, and then I sort of went through the playing list and looked at that, at how exciting it is. You know, I think 80% of our first premiership side is sitting in this room right now. You know, there'll be a few bits added along the way, but the fact of the matter is this side and this club are very capable of solutions.
See, 80% of his list, he reckons, are sitting in that room right now that will be a part of their next premiership. And that's, you know, you just look at the context of that number and you're like, nah, you're kidding yourself. Well, they were on the verge of finals this year with that list, and he's pretty accurate in saying that. Of course, he's going to pump them up, but he's not wrong there. So, good luck to Damien Hardwick at the Gold Coast Suns. Hopefully, the Suns can be playing finals for the first time in history in 2024. Now, also, yeah, one thing about that also, I hate contracts that are over 5 years. For a coach, anything over 4 is ridiculous. 6 is a bit of a stretch. That's probably what they did to convince him to come over to the Suns. But I don't like 6-year deals. I never have, never will. Players, coaches, whatever. I don't like it. I think it's far too long. And plenty of things can change in those 6 years compared to, say, a 3. Something like that. I mean, he's not going anywhere else after this. So I thought that was pretty extreme, if we're being brutally honest here. But yeah, some other big news are at the top. Phil Davis has retired from the Gold Coast GWS Giants effective immediately. Phil had been struggling with injury this year, mainly. He was in the twos a lot. So we wish Phil all the best. Effective immediately, a bit surprised. He must have got injured on the weekend again. But 192 AFL games for Phil Davis. Congratulations, Phil, on a very underrated career, Phil Davis. Tom McCartan copped a 2-week suspension on the weekend. Mitch Duncan got a copped a 1-week ban. Tom McCartan and the Swans will challenge that, because as of right now, he will miss week 1 of the finals, whoever they play, whether it's the Saints or we are in the finals. All right, baby. And, yeah, we'll see what happens there. They'll be at the tribunal tomorrow night. I've got some more guests planned for the show. While I'm recording this, you may have seen a video potentially drop today or tonight. So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't posted it yet, there should be some more content in the next week as well. So should have a guest already filmed and recorded and published while you're watching this. So If I have posted that, go check it out down below and smash the like button and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, also, my new AFLW show, in fact, it's the AFLW show. I've got an announcement on when that will be starting, and that will be starting next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. I'm thinking I'm going to be making it a weekly show for the 3-month period. Tuesday night, but for this next week, it will be on the Wednesday night, and I may have some special guests on the show. So look forward to that and potentially some more announcements on that actual show, the AFLW show presented by Scoops, and potentially someone else as a co-host. Maybe, maybe not. You'll have to wait and find out. I'm going to reveal some new ideas on that show. The format will be different to this podcast, so go check it out in the first episode next Wednesday night. Very likely 7 p.m., but the time is TBD. It will definitely be next Wednesday night. Now, you're probably wondering, Scoops, why aren't you putting it on Tuesday? Because you just said you're going to put it on Tuesday for every week. Well, it's back for 2023. You haven't heard it on the show for about 8 weeks or 10 weeks even, because I always have a big extravaganza show in the bio week. It's the Scoops Medal is back in 2023 next Tuesday night. Who will be the third ever winner of the Scoops Medal? The inaugural winner was Jackson McRae. Last year it was Took Miller. Who will it be this year? You're going to have to wait and find out who will win the Scoops Medal for 2023. Now, that's it. So my schedule next week: Monday night, Kick It to Scoops. Tuesday night, the Scoops Medal. And Wednesday night, the debut episode of the AFLW show with potentially some guests on as well. So look forward to that. Now, it's time to go through the ladder. So you're just going to wait for Scoops Bang. It's a big one, like it is every week. Now, the AFL ladder, let's get that banner off for a second because I'm going to need the picture up. Look at that ladder, gents. Oh, the Saints are 6. They're locked in finals. Getting Scoops. Going to get on to the Doubters, mate. Let's think of the Doubters, mate. We'll get to that in Scoops Bang. All right, just go through the ladder, please. Sure. Okay. So the equations are pretty simple here. The Pies are on 68 points. Have a percentage of 123.2. So do the Lions, who are on 64 points, the same percentage. Collingwood play Essendon, so they should secure top spot. Brisbane play the Saints at the Gabba. Brisbane are on 64 points in second place. Port Adelaide are in third place on 64 points with 12% behind, or 11.7% behind Brisbane. So they can't pass them on percentage. They would need the Saints to beat Brisbane, and they would need to beat Richmond, which could happen. In fourth place, we've got the Demons on 60 points. They've secured a top 4 spot, although they've scraped in, if I'm being brutally honest. The last 6, 7, 8 weeks for Melbourne have been concerning. They scraped over the wins against some sides they probably didn't deserve to win, and they got lucky in a few games as well, especially that Brisbane game where they went defensive Brisbane, if you remember that at the G. So they've got lucky in a lot of their games in the last 6 to 8 weeks. They're in fourth place, they're on 60 points. They're locked in there, and they could go as high as second spot, depending on how Brisbane and Port go, but that's very unlikely. In fifth place, you got Carlton on 54 points at a percentage of 116.1 in fifth place. They're locked and loaded for fifth or sixth if they lose. They stay fifth if they win. They lose, and if St Kilda win, they drop to 6. Now, speaking of the Saints, they're in sixth place, secured final spot. The Saints in sixth position on 52 points at a percentage of 108.9. Very likely, if St Kilda lose, they could drop as low as 8. But that is unlikely because their percentage is 3.3% ahead of the Giants. Unless they got beaten badly, which I don't think would happen. We wouldn't lose by any more than 30, I wouldn't think. So, the Giants will then probably have to win by about 80 over Carlton, which I don't see that happening either. So, St Kilda, if they win, they stay 6. Or could go as early as 5th if the Giants win. Then I would want them to win. And then if they lose, they could drop as low as 8. Then I think they finish 7th if they lose. So, St Kilda win, they can go 5th. They lose, they probably go 7th. Now, in 7th place on the 50 points is the Swans. We're going to get to that debate very shortly. They're in 7th place on 50 points. They're locked and loaded. Now, the 8th and 9th spot is between those two sides, the Giants and the Bulldogs. The Giants are in 8th place on 48 points at a percentage of 105.6. And the Bulldogs are in 9th place on 44 points at a percentage of 107.6. So the equation is pretty simple. Percentage does not factor the Giants and the Bulldogs. So Geelong played the Bulldogs on Saturday night. The Bulldogs win, they'll temporarily be in. But if the Bulldogs win, the Giants have to win to play finals. If the Bulldogs lose Saturday night, the Giants don't have to win to play finals. They just will fix their ladder position. So Saturday night, we will know if the Giants need to win the last game of the season against Carlton and Marvel to make finals, or whether if Geelong beat the Bulldogs, then the Giants are safe no matter whether they win or lose or draw. So the equation is pretty simple there. Then you got Essendon in 10th place. You go, well, Scoops, they're on 44 points, aren't they? Yeah, they are. But they're not beating Collingwood number 1. And 2, they don't deserve it after how they play on the weekend. And they're 12.9% behind the Giants, so they have to win by like 250 points, 300 points. So that's not happening. So Bombers out. Geelong in 11th on 42. Richmond 12th on 42. Crows 13th on 40. They were robbed of a chance at finals. We'll get to that second. 14th place at Dockers on 36. Along with the Suns in 36 in 15th place. It should have gone 14th after the weekend goal. We'll get to that too in the review part. 16th place, Hawks on 28, missing Newcomb and Lewis on the weekend. 17th, we got the Eagles, who are not last on 17 points, 12 points. Oh, the Eagles. Go check out my reactions to the fourth quarter vlog. Go check it out down below. I filmed it yesterday, and how sweet and excited I got when they officially made the Saints qualify for finals, the Eagles. We love the Eagles here. They're in 17th place, not last on 12 points, percentage of 52.5i. And in 18th place, dead last on 8 points at 68.7%. It's the North Melbourne Football Club. So the Harley Reid, the need for Reid, looks like he'll be joining the Roos with potentially Riley Sanders if they get to approve that academy thing they're trying, loophole they're trying, and hopefully that doesn't get approved. Very likely then they'll get Colby McKercher, or if someone like a Colby McKercher, Dan Curtin, Zane Dersma, if they lose Harry McCarthy if it's a free agent to whoever, and if the Band and Compo is worthy of a pick after their first pick, unfortunately it could be pick 2, which is ridiculous when you think about it, but it could be that. So they could have Reid, one of McKercher, Curtin, Dersma, and Riley Sanders. That could be absolutely insane just for gaining pick 1. They could have got it the same way, but this way they get Harley Reid and then Dan Curtin or Sanders, Reid, and then potentially, or not potentially, will get one of Curtin, Dersma, and McKercher, and it's just, or Nick Watson, and it's just unbelievable to think that could be the case. All right, it is time. Oh, it's time for the world famous segment, Scoops Goes By. Boom. Oh, my Lord. The Crows have been stuffed of finals. It's not me making excuses. The Crows were robbed of finals. Now, people keep telling me, oh, they had to beat West Coast. Yeah, they would have won that. And they deserved to beat the Swans, probably not when they were 40-odd points down. But they came back, and I didn't give a shit who played well and all that, who deserved to win in the general play. The fact of the matter is the Crows are robbed. The AFL, Gillon McLaughlin, admitted that it was wrong. Now, if you've been living under a rock, here is the incident. Ben Keys kicks the goal with about 40 seconds to go, clear goal, and the replay will show it. It wasn't reviewed. They review everything, but I'm going to get to that in a second. I'm very worked up on this because I'm very pissed off with this because the AFL inconsistencies show yet again. This time they admit they're wrong, but all too late. Here it is.
Keys could be the goal of his life. Opens it up, bangs it a goal. He's got it. One for the ages. No, it's touched the post. They're celebrating. They don't know. They don't know yet. That's on 5. Yours.
Where do I start on this one? Seriously. One, where the bloody hell was the score review? They review everything they say. And then Gill yesterday admitted when they got it wrong, we'll get to that. And he says they don't review everything. So who's been lying all year? They say they review everything. And then people say, oh, no, they only review goal scoops. Well, in a game like this, in a moment like this, in general play, in a 50-50 call, what happened to the central umpire bloody going up to the goal and going, no, They do it every other time. They go, just give me a second. What they want to overrule the goal umpire. Where was the central umpire here? Why didn't the goal umpire go, look, I'm pretty certain it's a point. Can we just make sure? Well, now the goal umpire's been stood down, so he should. The score review person got stood down, I think, because there was a woman doing the score reviews of the Arc Sunday, and the guy that always does it wasn't doing that that day on Sunday. So very interesting to see if he's been stood down as well. It sounds like it has. Whether it's for the season, they've both been sacked, I don't know. That goal umpire apparently in question done it with Josh Jenkins and the Power all those years ago in the showdown where Jenkins hit the post and they gave it a goal. Maybe they're trying to get karma for fucking sorry, my apologies for stuffing up Port Adelaide last time. Now they get one up on the Crows. Is that the way they do it? This one's cost the Crows finals, and you can't even it like that. That just not works. The Crows have been robbed to finals, plain and simple. You can apologise all you like, Gil. Taking responsibility. It may be your league, but that's not your fault. That's your terrible umpires that don't know how to adjudicate rules properly. Now, people say the Snicko couldn't have been used because Rampy or Cal Mills ran into the goalpost. Now, that's all true. But we don't need Snicko to see this. You just review it. Review the bloody thing and tell Jake Lloyd who had the kick out just to hold up a second. And then the Crows are probably playing finals or had a better chance of playing finals. And at that point, it could have cost a few sides like St Kilda and the Giants guaranteed finals. And it did at that point. Just ridiculous. The AFL are a joke. That goal umpire needs to be dropped, sacked. The umpiring is crap. Every week I say it because it's true. It is pathetic. Get rid of that goal umpire. Get rid of everyone. This is a joke. Get umpires that know how to umpire properly. The rules are set. Whether they're good or crap, it's a whole different argument. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Plain and simple. Now, Gill's apology was saying, he didn't take responsibility, review every goal. They don't review every goal. Well, who's been lying all year saying they review everything? It's baffling, if you ask me. Now, it's frustrating. But what is not frustrating is the Saints are playing finals and the St Kilda Doubters. Where are you? Where are you now? Where are you? I can't hear you. I can't hear you all the way from up the top of the ladder. Can't hear you. You see the clip at the start? Rowan Marshall kicked the goals that secured us finals. I can't hear you from all the way up there. You're all down there. You're all gone quiet. Where the hell are you gone? We were told by many experts and random fans that St Kilda weren't good enough. Bottom four. And then when we weren't going to be bottom four, they're like, you're not going to make the 8. You're not going to make the 8. They're not happening. Geelong will make it. No, they didn't. Out. Adelaide were making it. Out. Bulldogs, probably out. Not happening. And cane corns, volcano cane corns. Yeah, everyone's allowed to have their ladder predictions and everything like that. He had St Kilda 15th or 16th. 15th, I think it was. Bottom 4, anyway. Now, you could say, it's just his opinion. You got it wrong. Yeah, sure. But he was harping on all year, even when we had great wins, of how lucky or shit we were, and he's wrong. We had Max King out for chunks of the year, Tim Membry, Jack Hayes, Dan McKenzie, Jimmy Webster, Dougal Howard, Jack Steele, Jack Higgins. And there's plenty more I'm forgetting. We had all these players out for chunks of the season, and we still managed to make the 8. And with some tough teams in the last month, Carlton, Richmond, Geelong, and then this week will be Brisbane. Where are you now? What's your excuses now? You're going to say, we're making up numbers in the 8? Well, last time I checked, Collingwood, Brisbane, Port, and Melbourne have all shown their inconsistencies in the last month. Carlton, in moments in games against us in the first half, against Gold Coast in the first half, they've shown their inconsistencies. The Giants just got pumped by the power last week. They've been generally pretty consistent lately, besides that game. Sydney scraped out a line against Adelaide after having a 40-odd point lead. They've had some games before that where they've scraped through. So have we. But the fact of the matter is, and the Bulldogs too, if they do make it, they're inconsistent as all hell. And Beveridge should be out. Hashtag Bevo out. I've been calling it for 2 years. Get rid of him, Bulldogs. It's his fault. The team is going shit. Anyway, so the St Kilda Doubters, what's your excuse now? You're saying we're making up the numbers in the 8? Well, everyone in the 8 so far has shown their inconsistencies in the last month or two. So the grand final is up for grabs for anyone. Now, if we get eliminated first round, it'd be disappointing, obviously. But we still made it, and you said we weren't making it. Very likely, we could end up playing one of we will be playing in finals for week 1. One of Sydney, Carlton, GWS, and the Bulldogs. And guess what, everyone? We beat all 4 of them. And we beat GWS in Sydney, Sydney in Sydney, Carlton in the first time we played them at Marvel. And the Bulldogs, we spanked them on 57 points in round 2. So it's funny because I know a lot of you people, you're not going to tip us, whether it's at Marvel or MCG or SCG or Giant Stadium. You ain't going to tip us. But that's fine. But I know you're going to say we're going to be no chance. And we'll just prove you wrong week in and week, or we do prove you wrong week in and week out. You kept saying we're not making the 8. We're not playing finals. We're going to finish bottom 4. None of that happened. Well, we're playing finals, and you're just going to have to cop it. And if we keep winning, I'll keep being happier. So, to the doubters, lift your game. I know you people are allowed to have opinions, but your opinions are wrong, and you just say to try and get me angry and whatnot, but I don't care what you think. All I care is the facts that show that the Saints are playing finals. And stick that up, you doubters. All aboard the Filippo and Saints train. Toot toot. All right. Now, hope you enjoyed that edition of the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Now, just quickly speaking about Luke Beveridge, he's got to go. He really does. The inconsistencies in form. They lost to Hawthorn last week. They choked a lead there. West Coast, they were never really in front. And when they were, it was very minor. They didn't play well. The Eagles dominated well. The Warriors were lucky free at the start their campaign for their first goal of the game through lob or whoever the hell it was, or luck. It just happened. They're a concern. Beveridge has been... How are you going to have that midfield and that forward line, that defence? I will always, to this day, stick to my guns here and say that defence is shit. Dale and Daniel are solid. Richards is okay. The key defenders are rubbish. Sorry, they're rubbish. None of them are good. You know who they are. He plays out of position. Always lob played on the wing some games. Josh Bruce, before he done his ACL, is playing in the back line. He's a freaking forward bevo. Like, that's just some examples there. Bailey Smith, playing as a forward. He's a midfielder. You know? Anthony Scott, Lachlan McNeil, and those tall defenders, why do they get a game? Vandermeer, another one. The rest of that team is pretty solid. You got your midfielders, you got English in the ruck, you got Norton, you got Waitman, Hugo Hagen. Like, what? Your team is bad. The list you got, some onus is on the players, but it's also on the coach. The team selection news is always another query of Beverages. Multiple changes each week. Nothing wrong with that necessarily. But he's just bringing in the same rubbish every single week. He goes out, he goes in. You know. Beveridge out. Hashtag Bevo out. Been calling it for almost 2 years. And I'm hearing from some sources that if they don't play finals, Beveridge could be out. That's what I'm hearing. I've just been sent that literally before this recording. So there's rumours and rumblings that he could be out. Not that I would say I'm surprised, but that's a talk I'm hearing. So don't be surprised if that happens. Not just because they lost to West Coast or lives in Hawthorn. It's the inconsistencies. It's the timing of how long he's been there. It's just everything. He needs to go. Simple. Plain as that. Simple as that. All right. It's now time to go through my AFL team of the week. As some would say. They know who they are from my live streams. From the backline first, the Pockets, Harry Sheasel and Nick Newman. Full back, Callum Wilkie. Half back on the flankers, Jack Sinclair and Kadeen Coleman. Centre half back, Harry Himmelberg. Wingman, Sam Flanders and Dustin Martin. Centreman, Zach Butters. Half forward line, the flankers, Oscar Allen and Jesse Hogan. Centre half forward, Charlie Curnow. Forward pockets, Jamie Cripps and David Swallow. Full forward, Nick Larkey. Ruckman, Rowan Marshall. Rovers, Tim Kelly and Tom Green. Interchange, Tim English, Shai Bolton, Rory Laird, and Scott Pendlebury. The sub, Lockie Schultz. The emergencies will be Tom Mitchell, Luke Ryan, and Carl Amon. Now, reasons for my selections. Harry Sheasel, 37 disposals, one of the best players on the ground for the North Melbourne Footy Club. I think he had about 90% efficiency to serve spot on the team for sure. Cal Wilkie, played on Jeremy Cameron. Cameron did nothing, no impact at all as a forward. Had to push up the ground to get his possessions because he's doing nothing on Cal. Cal kept him goalless. Cal had 21 disposals of his own. All-Australian lock for me is Cal Wilkie. Now, Nick Newman, 31 disposals. He's having a terrific last month of form. Deserves a spot on the team. Jack Sinclair, 38 disposals, 83% efficiency, multiple amount of clearances and score of vomits. Jack Sinclair is a gun. Simple as that. He's one of the best players in the competition. And no, go check his stats, go watch his games, and you will know I'm right. You may say the opposite, but you're only saying that out of jealous hate, and you're jealous that you don't have Jack Sinclair in your team. Sink is a gun. Harry Himmelberg is a key defender, intercept defender, had 30 disposals, was a lock in the team, and they spanked the Bombers. Kadeen Coleman, 21 disposals and a goal. He was very influential, along with Connor McKenna, who was probably stiff, but I've got Kadeen Coleman, 21 disposals and a goal. On the wingman, Sam Flanders, he had 36. Dustin Martin kicked 3 or 4 goals with 30 disposals, deserves a spot on the 3 goals and 30, deserves a spot on the team. Zach Butters, 34 disposals, terrific, high efficiency as well, and clearances and score involvements. Oscar Allen kicked 3 goals, 3 or 3-4, 12, 16 disposals. It was terrific. The key reason why the Eagles won. Charlie Curnow, 5 goals. Key part why they beat the Suns. Curnow didn't play, they didn't beat the Suns. Suns were up by 40. He kickstarted that with 3 goals in the second quarter. I'm pretty sure it was 3 goals. Well, he definitely had 3 or 4 or 5 shots a goal. And he turned it around and he was competitive in the second half as well, so he did deserve to spot the team. Where are we? Jesse Hogan, what an awesome individual game. Probably the best individual game all year. Kicked 9, 24 disposals, 17 marks, 12 score involvements. What an absolute fantastic performance from Jesse Hogan. He's had some good form this year, Jesse Hogan. Oh, I'm going to get to Jacob Riccardi signed a 3-year deal with the Giants. So he had some trade interest. He signed a 3-year deal with the Giants after the game. They announced that. So on to the Riccardi party, who didn't make the team of the week this week. In the forward pocket, Jamie Cripps. Awesome game. 5 goals, 17 disposals, like 10 marks, 3 goals in the last quarter. An ex-Sainer. We always loved you, Jamie. Jamie Cripps, you absolute machine. Helped the Saints secure a final spot. We love you, Jamie. He kicked 5. He was awesome. He had to be in the team. And particularly the third quarter, fourth quarter, we kicked 3 goals. They looked like they were going to lose at one point. And he said, not happening on my watch. I hope you're saying. As I left you, so I wanted to go home. But I hope you on the way out. Thanks, Jamie. 7 years or so late, but we'll accept it now. Thanks, mate. Nick Larkey kicked 6. He was terrific. One of the best players on the ground in that North Richmond game. David Swallow, 4 goals, 3. Dominant first half. Deserved a spot on the team. 15 odd disposals. It was a lock. Rowan Marshall, one of the best ruckmen in the round with Tim English, but Rowan Marshall gets the on-field position for his team. 1 goal, 22 disposals, 28 hit-outs. The Geelong ruckmen, who were they? Neil, De Koning, Radigalia. They were rubbish. All 3 of them. Marshall was terrific. So they even had Ollie Henry do 1 ruck contest. I had to laugh at that. Unbelievable. That was the centre bounce one. Unbelievable. But Rowe was fantastic. We've seen that goal at the start of the show. Rowe, the Saints are rolling into finals. 2-2, all aboard the Filippo and Saints train. Tim Kelly was awesome. 30 disposals for Tim Kelly, about 80% efficiency, 5 goal assists, 12 score involvements, 10 clearances, 4 tackles. Freaking beast of a performance from Tim Kelly. Deserves one on the team. Tom Green, 1 goal, 38 disposals. He was awesome. A lot of contested possessions. It was about 20 contested possessions. He was like 8 to 10 clearances. He was a beast in that team. And had Jesse not kicked 9, he was clearly BOG. So very interesting there, that's for sure. Interchange, Tim English, next best ruckman. Similar to Marshall, 1 goal, 20 odd disposals. But he had 58 hit-outs, but he played on Bailey Williams, so I'm not really surprised. And they lost. But he gets a spot on the team nonetheless, on the bench. Shy Bolton kicked 4, 25 odd disposals to a spot on the team. Scott Penderby kicked a goal and 31 disposals. Had like 10 or 12 score involvements and clearances, so he deserves a spot on the team. And he had decent efficiency, 1 goal, 31 touches. Rory Laird, 31 touches, had a great game in the midfield for the Crows. And they got Lockie Schultz. For a small forward to have 27 disposals, didn't kick a goal. It's a pretty impressive effort, so I put Lockie Schultz in the team. And Tom Mitchell's next best mid, goal, 31 disposals. Luke Ryan, next best defender, 26 odd disposals, 10 marks. Carl Awon, 27 disposals and a goal. Was pretty good as well for the Hawks. Now, remember, please subscribe if you haven't. I didn't even say this at the top. I had so much to talk about. Hadn't even said this yet. Remember, please subscribe if you haven't already. And turn on the bell for all notifications. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you could, go smash the sub button there. So please subscribe if you haven't already and leave a like on this video. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And follow my Instagram, AFL Info Live. I want to aim for 20 likes for this video. Smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Now it's time to go review round 23. First off, we're going to start on Friday night at Marvel Stadium. It was the Pies, 100, defeated by the Lions by 24, Brisbane by 24. Great win for the Lions. High scoring affair. The Lions were dominant. Rayner was decent. Neal, Hipwood, Danaher, all really well. The Pies, you had Tom Mitchell, you had Scott Pendlebury, did well. Some more injuries the Pies had, which is disappointing. Ginnivan, I thought, played okay. They had DeGoey, Bobby Hill, Dacos. There's probably another one I missed, Darcy Moore. And John Noble was crook going into that game, but no excuses. The Pies got a loss again. They say they don't like Marvel. Well, Brisbane do. And the Lions has got a deserved 24-point win. Saturday afternoon, it was Richmond by 29 points over North Melbourne, 101-72. I mean, the game itself, North Melbourne were competitive the whole game. Larky kicked 60 was terrific. Sheezer was good. Martin and Bolton were Richmond's best players. But it was the end of the careers of 3 players, 3 very well-known players and guys that played over 270-odd games, all combined. Jack Zeeble, a North Melbourne legend, took a great, speaking in the last quarter, was great to see. Speaking of Jack Zeeble, he was assaulted by random idiots. So he wished Jack all the best after the game at a function. They had some restaurant or something. When he left, he got hit. Absolutely pathetic people are. Wish Jack all the best. Apparently he's going to have facial surgery or something, so it's not good. Wish Jack all the best and should have been able to enjoy his last days as an AFL player in peace, but people are absolute assholes. And obviously the retirements of Jack Rewalt, 347 AFL games. Trent Cotchin, about 307. Don't know off the top of my head. So well done to both of them on their careers at Richmond as well. Now, next game to go through was the Suns and the Blues. Gold Coast 87, defeated by the Blues 91. They had a few chances late. But they're up by 40 odd, start of the second, and that's where it gets disappointing for me. They shouldn't have let Cullen come back. It was the Kerno show in the second quarter, as I said before. I just wouldn't be happy to allow a side get back after you're 40 points up. You were dominating them, and there were some shots where they missed Gold Coast, like chains of the footy, where they shouldn't have butchered. I thought Marbiel Chol in his return game for about in 10 weeks, just been in the twos, had a terrific game, could set up their key chain, especially in the first half. Tuke Miller was all right. But if Carlton was just the Charlie Curnow show. Big reason as to why they won. Nick Newman was solid as well. Twilight game, the Giants and Essendon. Gee, this is not flying under the radar. It may be with all this big news today, but this ain't flying under the radar for me. GWS v Essendon. GWS 162 to 36. GWS by 126 points. Now, I'm saying this right now. Absolute disgrace. Essendon proved that they're crap. GWS are having a terrific year, but no one should be losing to anyone by 126 points, especially when you're in contention for the 8. This really shows how shit Essendon really, truly are. Parrish hasn't re-signed yet. If I was him, I'd leave. Gee, Redmond, signing a 5-6 year deal with your club, mate, that looks like a big... That's going to backfire, mate. But you're stuck with it now. Parrish, just leave. Go to St Kilda, Geelong, whoever. Just leave Essendon. You're just going to be wasting your years not playing finals or winning a final. It's like 6,200 plus days since Essendon won a final. It's going to be another 300 days. You can just leave Darcy while you got the times on your side, mate. Otherwise, you won't be succeeding in finals with that club. They're a disgrace. They really are. Tom Green, awesome. Jesse Hogan, I mentioned earlier, terrific. Himmelberg was great. The whole bloody team was great. Toby got subbed off tactically because they were going that well. Up by like 45 at quarter time, 93 at half time, winning by 126. That's a disgrace. And look, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not even going to mention any Essendon players, so they're all shit. All I will say is this. If this was a coach that's been there for a long time, this one particular club in Brad Scott, or was a coach in his 3rd or 4th year, he'd get the arse off this game alone. Because Scott's in his 1st year at Essendon, he won't. But a performance like this was just inexcusable, unacceptable. And I know some Bombers fans are really pissed off, and they have every right to be. That team is just a disgrace. They lowered their colours big time, and a lot of them shown that they're not good AFL players, or when the pressure's on, they're really not that good. Honestly, the Giants were absolutely freaking awesome, and the Giants have been saying, beware the Giants, they're the dark horse for the 8. Well, they're in the 8 again, 1 round to go, and they deserve it well and truly, especially over the team that could take their place, and that's the Bulldogs. So they definitely deserve it, the Giants. The Saturday night games. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be with St Kilda. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be with St Kilda. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. One more time. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be with St Kilda. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Choo-choo. All aboard the Filippo and Saints train. Mateus kicked a great goal. Quick side step, grab it. Front and centre off King and Butler. Butler kicked it to King. King tapped it down. Filippo grabbed it from the ground, picked it up, ducked, weave, turned left, snapped on his left, his preferred foot, and snapped it all aboard the Filippo train. Then, now, forever together. All aboard the Saints and the Filippo train. An absolutely great performance. 88, Geelong 55. The Saints could have won by a lot more. St Kilda kicked, I think, in the first half or start of the third. St Kilda were 1 goal 10 from turnovers. So if they had capitalised, St Kilda could have won by 170 points. They really could have. It's a great performance. I loved the performance of the boys. Freaking awesome. I loved it. Enjoyed every single moment. Knocking out a team I disliked the most in Geelong. And knowing a lot of Geelong fans, obviously, it's just so damn sweet. They chirp all year at me, at cricket, in general. Oh, yeah, this button. Oh, well, guess what? Not only did we qualify for finals, we knocked your sorry mob out of the 8. Back to the retirement village you go. Plain and simple. Now, some of the best players. Jack Sinclair, 38 disposals. What a gun. Rowan Marshall, a goal, 22, 28 hit-outs. Brad Hill, 31. Jack Steele, 27. Cal Wilkie, 21, keeping Cameron goalless. He was terrific. Geelong's best player. Wasn't really any. Tom Stewart had 30, but I hardly noticed him, and he definitely wasn't his impactful best he normally is. Hawkins kicked 2, but he was very quiet. Ollie Henry, you wouldn't have known he was playing. Stengel, the same. I couldn't even really give you a Geelong good player. Now, obviously, they weren't as bad as Essendon, but they weren't good. The Saints, the margin flatters Geelong. St Kilda should have won by 70 points. I'm not even exaggerating because it's my team, not being biased. I just told you a stat. There was also a stat where St Kilda kicked 1 goal 8 in succession, 9 scoring shots, and 8 of them were behinds. So it just goes to show you the Saints capitalised on some easy opportunities from Higo on his 100th. Well done, Higo, on your 100th, mate. Missed some gettable shots. So did some other guys. Mason Wood did after taking a terrific mark. Cooper Sharman had a really good game. Took a great mark as well. But, yeah, it could have been a lot more. But regardless, the Saints won. They beat Geelong. They spanked them out of the 8. Finals no more for Geelong. Out. The Saints in, all aboard the Filippo train. And it was a great victory indeed. All right, next game to go through was that that controversial ending, Adelaide 73, Sydney 74. I'm not going to repeat that again. Adelaide were robbed right in front of me. We all know it. But Adelaide, how bad were they to start? They were like 40-odd points down for most of the first half. Third quarter, they started to bring it back a bit. In the last quarter, they obviously got close and they got robbed. But they shouldn't have made it in that scenario, Adelaide. They're at home, a lot on the line, and they stuffed it. But they stood up in the second half. Obviously, Matty Nix even rev up at halftime, big time. They delivered in the second half, and then they were robbed. Goulden was good. Laird, some of the major players in that game. Next game on Sunday, we're the Eagles, West Coast Eagles, and we're here to show you why. We're the big birds, kings of the big game. We're the Eagles, we're flying high. Western Bulldogs 85, defeated by the Bulldogs 92. And oh, what a great victory it was. Saints officially qualified. Go check out my fourth quarter reactions, live reactions, like I'm doing with this. Live reactions to the game. I watched it here. And you see my excited reactions when Cripps gets some goals. Allen, what happens when Jamara centered a shot. What happened when Lobb got a goal or Waitman. Just go watch that video. You've seen the pure excitement in my voice and the excitement. You could tell. Go watch it. That vlog is done terrific. May do more of them in the future. Have to wait and see. It was great to see the Eagles win. They deserve the win. Kelly, 30 disposals, 5 goal assists, 12 score involvements, 8 clearances, 4 tackles. I mentioned that earlier. It was bloody awesome. Allen kicking 3, 16 disposals was awesome. McGovern was terrific as well. I've got to put him in the team of the week, but I didn't. But they were awesome. Duggan had some key moments as well. Cripps kicking 5 and 17. He was terrific. 3 in the last quarter while he was in the team of the week. Noah Long had some important moments for the Eagles in the last quarter. But yeah, it was the Eagles, the Bulldogs. I said Beveridge. I'm not going to repeat that again. Who was good for the Bulldogs? Yeah, people say Bonampelli had a great third quarter, but he went missing for 3 quarters. So what do you really say? And he should not be polling any coaches' votes. If he does, that's ridiculous. But they do. They give him votes for just breathing. So I wish they would stop that. He had a great third quarter, no doubt. He's a good player. We know that. But they suck up to him too much. And it's just a bit too much, really. And I'm sure Bond would admit that as well. Just people carrying on a bit too much or over-exaggerate for him, which I'm sure he wouldn't really like. The Demons 87 defeated the Hawks 60, Melbourne by 27. Well, Hawthorn win this throughout the whole game. Melbourne got 3 goals to 1 in the last, kicked 2 goals late to make it look worse than it was with like 5 minutes to go. Newcombe was out before the game with hamstring tightness. Mitchell Lewis missed with a knee injury. So they could have won this had they had those 2 goals. And I was very confident they could have won with those 2. I still thought they could have won without those 2. Just made it a lot harder. And they, to their credit, they performed pretty well. Warple was terrific with 30 touches. For Melbourne, probably Trent Rivers was one of their best players. Finn McGuinness held Oliver to stuff all disposal in the first 3 quarters, so he did well there. But yeah, it was the Demons got another lucky win over the Hawks. Final game, the Dockers 58, defeated by the Power 74, pulled by 16 points. Tom Emmett made his debut for the Fremantle Dockers. 2 goals, like 12 disposals on debut. One if he gets the rising star, well, Henry Huswaite from the Hawks. Kicked 2 on debut as a late in, right under Henry on his debut. He had a really good game. 2 goals, 14 on disposals. Even Tom Emmett had a contention for the rising star this round, I would think. Off the top of my head. But Tommy Emmett was pretty solid. 2 goals, 12 disposals. Had a good game for the Dockers. Brayshaw was good. Sarong was all right. Lockie Schultz was good. The power of Butters was always good. Wines was decent as well. But yeah, the power got the win. It's an important win. It wasn't convincing, but a win is a win nonetheless. All right, it's time to go through my Supercoach Talk. Round 23. I'm in 4 grand finals this week. I've got 7 leagues out of 3 leagues in 4 league finals. Hopefully I go well this week in the grannies. I scored 2,495, top 6%. So it went up a little bit in the ranks, like a couple of 200 or something, like 11,000 and something. 11,400, I don't know, 11,000 something. But a terrific game. Had no trades the last few weeks. Got players on the field all playing. Had my bench players get dropped this week by Nick Curvis and no England. Drury came as late in, but didn't have the most. He was terrible when he came on the sub, scored 9 points and a half. Pretty bad if you ask me. But yeah, still at the usual Dawson, Sinclair, Stewart, Cicely Day, Ryan. Midfield led, Brazier, Neal. That's not Rao. Why the hell does that say Rao? I've had a complete blank. That is not Rao. That is someone else. Don't know why it says that. Neil, Petrarca, Sarong, Steele, and Cripps. Ruckman, Witts, and Briggs. Forwards, Butters, Sheasel, Cornelio, Rosie, Tarano, Gordon. But yeah, so I'm happy with how I went. 2,495. Got into 4 grand finals this week in my leagues. Hopefully I can go pretty well. But overall ranking is where it really matters. League finals can be a bit inaccurate because you could be going well and you have one guy go insane one round, you get eliminated. It's just the same with the ladder. It's just like a bit inaccurate if you ask me. It should be off total points, just if you ask me. That's how I went. How did you go? Comment down below. How many grand finals are you in? Are you in any? How many leagues did you create or be a part of? And how many are you still in your grand finals? Comment down below. The season's done. Comment down below. All right, now it's time to go. And I've got no trades, as I said, so there'll be no trades this week, obviously. All right, time to go through previewing round 24. Starts Friday night, 7:50 at the MCG. It's Collingwood hosting the Bombers. I'm just going to cut the bullshit. The Pies are winning by 40 points. Next game on Saturday, we have North Melbourne hosting the Gold Coast Suns in Tassie. Saturday, 1:45 big time in Bloodstone Arena. We're having the Suns easily by 40 points. Hawthorn hosting Fremantle of the MCG, 1:45 big time. I'm going to tip the Hawks, actually, by 12 points, but Dockers can win this. Another game that's not important. All right, now this is important. Saturday, 4:35 at the Gabba. Sorry, 4:35 Saturday at the Gabba. It's the Brisbane Lions hosting my Saints. And I back my Saints to get the win here. It'll be very hard. The Gabba, the Lions haven't lost there all year. They'll lose at some point, don't they? Hopefully it's this week. Now the Saints by 15 points. Saturday night at GMHBA, this game will affect the 8. Geelong hosting the Bulldogs, 7:25 Vic time at GMHBA. As I said earlier, Bulldogs win. They'll temporarily be in the 8. Then they will need the Giants to lose to Carlton. If the Bulldogs lose this, the Giants automatically make the 8. I'm tipping Geelong in this, which means they've both been crap. I'm tipping Geelong because it's at home. The only reason is Isaac Smith's last game. So I don't know Isaac Smith on his career at the Hawks in particular. So I'll tip Geelong there, which means the Bulldogs are out. The Giants play finals. Saturday night, Eagles hosting the Crows at Optus, 8:10 Vic time. Tipping the Crows there. That should have been for a final spot, but it isn't. Sunday, 12:30 Vic time at Adelaide Oval. It's Port Adelaide hosting Richmond. Port will win there easily. Sunday, 3:20 at the SCG. It's the Swans hosting the Demons. Vic time. I'm tipping the Swans there. But hopefully for St Kilda sake, that Melbourne win there. Final game of the round, Sunday, 6:10 p.m. at Marvel Stadium. It's the Carlton Football Club hosting the Giants. The Giants, potentially, if the Bulldogs win, or if the Bulldogs win, the Giants will need to win this to qualify, and I think they can. So if Bulldogs win, I think they can still make it because I think the Giants will beat Carlton and Marvel. Shooter West Friendly had 2 bad games this year, so I've been saying all year. The Pies earlier in the year at the MCG, and a couple of weeks ago against the Power at the Adelaide Oval. So my final thoughts are simply this. You want me on Cameo at the cameo.com/CooperG. I'm going to roast a friend. Wish someone happy birthday. Anything at all, cameo.com/CooperG. Smash the like button on this video. I aim for 20 likes for this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Once we hit 3K subscribers, there'll be some prize giveaways. I'm looking at the prize right now. So go smash the like button, and there might be more prizes additionally on top of the one I'm looking at. So make sure you subscribe. About 680 odd away, so still a little while. But keep liking, keep subscribing more importantly. And once we hit that milestone, there can be some more prizes, but you got to smash the like button. Get your mates on board. Even if they don't watch the content much, just get them to smash the sub button anyway. And then there'll be some prizes giveaway. Pretty just plain simple. You guys want to win prizes and you want it to happen soon, go get your mates on board a sub. They love footy and get them a sub. Get your family on board a sub. We greatly appreciate it. And next week, as I said, Monday night will be the podcast. Tuesday night will be the Scoops medal. And the Wednesday night will be the debut of the AFLW show presented by Scoops and potentially someone else. You'll have to wait and find out next Wednesday night. So Monday night, you get the Scoops. Tuesday night, the Scoops medal. And Wednesday night, the debut episode of the AFLW show next Wednesday night. Thank you all for watching. The most important thing of all to remember is go the Saints and, of course, acknowledge me, the one and all aboard the Filippo and Saints train. The Saints are playing finals and woohoo, you beauty.